Okay, this morning we are looking at this computer power supply tester. There's not much information on this. It's according to this, the power supply tester is a robust voltage tester for PC power supply, ATX, BTX, and ITX compliant power supplies can be tested. LCDs indicate the status of voltage. The PC SPS is suitable for the ambitious hobby user as well as for a quick functional check in specialized trade. This thing, the operation is that you plug in a 24 pin and P4, P6, or P8 into the corresponding jack of the power test suite. Power on the supply of power will hear doo-doo ring. If no flicker, then the power supply output voltage is normal. If a certain voltage signal was not detected or the detected voltage value over the normal will cause a doo-doo long buzzer. If the corresponding voltage value or PG flicker 2, then the power is failed. Now of course this won't test the really old style AT power supplies, but I don't know if anybody still uses those. So, I mean, that's it. Okay, let's see here. And so you can see that this has the connector for the power supply, the main motherboard connector. It will also support, if I understand correctly, if you have the shortened version, you just plug it in. I believe these are keyed, so if you don't have the full length one, it'll only plug in one way. And then we also have a SATA power connector, a standard power connector, a floppy drive power connector, and then here we have an 8-pin, 4-pin, or 8P, 4P, and 6P connector. So let's plug this up to a power supply, which I happen to have. And, oh, come on. So, let's see here. So as soon as you plug it in, it turns on the power supply. And the beeping you hear, I guess that's that doo-doo sound they're talking about, is it's pointing out that this 12 volt 2 is reporting 0, and what they're talking about is this second connector, and you plug that into where it says 4P, and curious. I'm not sure why it's beeping. plug it in again. Okay. There's the PG Power Good wasn't showing as Power Good. So, you can read here that we have our minus 12 volts, plus 12 volts. Sorry, I can't read this unless it's pointed right at me. 5 volts, Power Good 300 ms, plus 5 volts is 5 volts, plus 12 volts 1, and plus 3.3 volts is 3.3. So all these voltages are close enough, so we would say this power supply is good. You can test if your floppy drive connector is working. The 12 volt and 5 volt light comes on, and this power connector causes the 5 volt and 12 volt power connect to come on. And then we have the SATA power connector, and this is not the best design because these SATA connectors have a little key here, and they don't have a key for this, which would be a good idea. So basically the connectors are on the top part. If you plug it in backwards, nothing will happen. And you can see we have plus volts and plus 5 volts, but no 3.3 volts. SATA connectors can have, if they have a fifth connector here, they can supply 3.3 volts to the hard drive. According to what I was reading, 3.3 volts is not always implemented, and as you can see, this one doesn't have it. Very few drives actually require it. So, I mean, that's it. Unfortunately, I don't have a bad hard drive or a bad power supply to test this on. It doesn't have any capabilities to show you how many amps this thing we're pulling, so you can't put it in line in a computer to test. But it definitely is helpful because oops, should have pulled that out. Can definitely tell you if a power supply is good or not. So, and of course, as you saw when I plugged it in, it immediately turns on the power supply, so you don't have to mess with that. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching.